would have had the land and have gotten an order for 10 years now. 10 years, that is an entire decade. The entire time that the government of Jamaica, the government of the day, has been in power. Now, this government is well aware that there is a legislation called the compulsory acquisition legislation, where any government can compulsory acquire any land where it is necessary to do so. One of the necessities will be a situation where persons have populated a space and the government can pay the private landowner the market value to ensure that persons have homes. The basis upon which any government that cares about its people would do so would be to ensure that human dignity is preserved. That is the basis and genesis of human rights, so that the least among us are protected. So that is my contention. I have no issue with the private owner who has taken steps to ensure that he exercises his right to maintain and keep his property. But I can tell you, the member of parliament was aware this was happening. More than that, these are the same people that went into that very area and told people to vote for them. So they weren't squatters when them did I beg them for them vote.
Wow.
All the people in Jamaica that have something bad to say, just know this. The basis of adverse possession is that you must be on a property for 12 years. So if you go and thief a piece of land, because that's what Jamaica like things say, is thieving. But white people adverse possess, rich people adverse possess. But the basis of doing so is that you must squat and you must dispossess the landowner who clearly have too much land and not enough time to look about it. But where you get catch, my gripe, my concern is that the government, through the JCF, was allowed to detain, remove, and incarcerate the men who live there. And while that is done, they would have revisited, yes, the slave experience. And there is something called the genetic transference of the slave experience. White people knew back then that if you separate the men from the women and children, the entire mental power, the unity that is family dynamics would definitely be separated and scarred. There is a genetic makeup. Your molecular structure is transformed through trauma. That is the human rights issue I'm talking about. So don't tell me while this government of the day is putting people in container and putting them into some basic dehumanizing situations. A container is almost like a cell in some of those American prisons. I can tell you. But anybody who want to curse me and say me careless and me this and me that, I will always defend the rights of poor people. I will always speak up, because this not have nothing to do with private land ownership. Government must have a responsibility, and the government that you vote for, if them can't make sure you have a roof over your head, where them dead for?
Yes.
And so I'm gonna say it till the next election. Me not stop say this. The Prime Minister and Miss Tova Hamilton have to give back people property. Or bet say you can't win back down there. And yeah, me not care what anybody wants about me as politician. There are some basic human rights and human dignity that must be dealt with. And the government dropped the ball on this. And ADPEM showing up with cuts and tents is most disgusting, dehumanizing, and embarrassing to be a part of any parliament and any government that treats the people of Jamaica like this. I must tell you, it's a sad day in Jamaica. Talk what you want to talk about me, but I am completely taken aback by the approach, and this should not be made to die down. And I must tell you this, the government tried that in Vale, and I got an injunction, and we are still before court. The government tried this in Bernard Lodge. I went to court for it. And the Prime Minister has since given all those people homes, which is why they're not hearing about that case. Okay. In under the rug. Those
Yes.
people were compensated. And
Mr.
that, and as long as them give them back them house, you not have to hear from me. But as long
Okay.
as them not have them house, you will hear from me. But me not care if you give them back and say me is a idiot and me is a dummy, me will take that. Make me be the worst person in Jamaica, but bet sound have to give them place to live. Concrete structure. We don't want a zinc house. We don't want a container. Huh?
Are you saying this morning that you are involved in this matter?
I'm saying this morning I'm going to enough up myself because I'm a little bit enough and extra. I'm
See, you
going to
heard
go
it
down
first
there.
here. You heard it first here.
I'm going to go down there.
Thank you.
I'm going to go down there tomorrow. And just so them don't pepper spray my eye, I go down there with Marky G. I'm not going to stand there and Marky G. Because they can't spray Marky G eye. Only Desmond I can get pepper spray.
But I can caution you though. Walk with the milk. Walk with the milk.
Me not have to walk with my milk.
Thank you.
Never in my years would they ever break themselves and try spray Marky G. So they're going to get it right with my party leader.
I am going to advise to walk with the milk. But I want to ask one second, you Blair. The matter of they were given a ruling 10 years ago. You are saying the ruling was done 10 years ago and they did not act until yesterday?
Absolutely.
No man, it's not about acting. I'm not talking about the people. And that's what people must understand.
The owners.
No man, listen. I don't hold brief for the owners.
Okay.
But nobody is to villainize the owner because the owners reach out to the government and say, do something about this. It is very painful as a private landowner to want to enjoy your property and have to displace persons. That is why the conversation about governance is important.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
10 years, a government made no effort to remove, replace, relocate an entitled squatter settlement after a court ruling is unbelievable and unimaginable. And so people must understand that this has nothing to do with the private owner. This has to do with what is government's role when people are homeless.
Mr. Buchanan,
and them are no mad people.
Mr. Buchanan, on that point you just raised, right? I have a question for you as a lawyer.
Sure.
The Land Acquisition Act of 1952 that the previous monarchy that ruled over Jamaica used, right? Isn't that a tool granted to the government in instances like these where they can step in and pretty much dictate how a land would go? So they would then pay a private person, say, okay, your land is valued at say $10 billion. I am going to pay you this $10 billion because I need to ensure that the people living there have somewhere to live. And also in that act, isn't there a portion of it that also states that if in an event of this nature where an agreement cannot be met with the private landowner and the government, and the government would then take that funding, would then be able to allocate that funding to ensuring that these persons that are about to be displaced are relocated to a satisfactory location. Isn't that what that act is for? To ensure situations like these don't happen?
Exactly. Then Mr. Lawyer, all them are going like I'm the only lawyer for go down there and get pepper spray. All them doing that. If everybody, you can all Google it and know. I'm gonna do. Let me do it in the language the people understand. Government come to you and say we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Let me give you money for your land. And when you say no, it's my property, we take it and carry it to court and say, yo, court, how much we for pay? Because we need this. Land will always be the greater good for the greater number. And the circumstances upon which the land, and I can tell you, no landowner is going to say, listen, I'm not selling the land in circumstances where persons were allowed to set up squatter settlements. It means that the land was sitting idle. And although you come and you try to enforce your right before the 10 years, the basis of land is land all across Jamaica must be used. And that is why they say the richer get richer and the poorer get poorer. Let me tell you something, man. Enough people depend on land and it's their land by virtue of recreational holdings. But people trick them. a man who, but me no want the diaspora kick out the teeth, so me not say much about this. But to say this, listen,
Go right ahead.
we must ensure that our brothers and sisters have somewhere to live.
Yes,
Every
sir. Yes,
Jamaican,
sir.
regardless of
Yes,
who you
sir.
are, this is not a political thing. You must own a piece of this rock for the purpose of sleeping and living. Listen, Jamaican people are a special people, you know. You never know who are gonna breed and have the greatest Jamaican to make us all happy. You don't know where the greatest of Jamaica is coming from. Every child born in Jamaica is special. Whether you're rich or poor, we have a duty to nurture, to make sure that the best versions of Jamaicans get to do that. And you have to live somewhere for that to happen.
Thank you
We
very
cannot
much.
continue the cycle of disenfranchisement and remnants of the
Thank you.
slave experience. It is psychological trauma, and I am rejecting it, and I'm inviting all persons to reject it and
Yes, sir.
understand. Say, listen, man, politics is performative. It's nice, you know. But like when the labor rights cuss me and call me dirty Ras. But even when them doing that, they must live somewhere. They must be all right, and they must never be treated like they are nothing. Because everybody in Jamaica is somebody. We can't
Yes.
speak for other countries, but me I
You,
talk up
Blair.
for my people.
You, Blair. You, Blair, you're there? Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead.
yes, I wanted Comrade Buchanan to explain eminent domain for the benefit of the listeners as it relates to that property.
Hey, me boy, you tell me about something when me don't know nothing about. I mean, I come go on like me know it. Yeah? But I will I can't off the cuff just throw that out. Me not bright so. Remember me is just a TikTok lawyer and me careless bad. But yeah. So
But
I can't explain that for the benefit of the public in the context of what's happening in terms of the displacement.
all right, so Mr. Buchanan, I have a question for you, right? I'm not a lawyer
Yes.
by any means. I just like to read and do my research before I ask the witness, right?
Mhm.
But here's my question to you as a representative and as a lawyer. I'm gonna put the question and I want you to answer it in this context. I want you to answer it as a lawyer and then as a representative, right? I want you to answer it in that way for the benefit of the people. So the Land Acquisition Act that I brought explained a minute ago. This is a tool afforded to the government to ensure fair and equal equity treatment towards the Jamaican people, right? That's the essential context of that law, correct?
Not necessarily, but a part of it, yes.
A part of it, right? A part.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
when the reason why I ask it that way, I mean, it's specific to Jamaican people because we both know it can go either or. It can go for the Jamaican people, or it can go for the government itself, or for foreign investors. We know that it can swing either way. But in this instance,
We'll get to the question quick though because the time is limited.
so the question I have to ask you, Mr. Buchanan, why is it that no, the MP representing that area, the councillors, or even the Minister of Housing or the Prime Minister himself did not take this law and activate it within the courts to grant any form of protections to the people in
Thank
being
you,
affected
Paul. Thank you,
currently?
Paula.
You know, I will say that I can't speak for the member of parliament. I can't speak for the government. I have asked those questions. I put out my press release. Media will ignore it because I asked the tough and hard questions. But I'm glad you're talking about the Land Acquisition Act because in Portland Eastern right now, they want to build a bypass and they simply tell
Seven.
Yeah.
to me, or we're gonna take it anyway. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. So because the Land Acquisition Act pretty much speaks about a utilitarian concept, the greater good for the greater number.
Town development and utility project, you can't stop it.
Right, but the greater good for the greater number, it's utilitarianism. It
Yeah.
simply means that if you have 50 families living on a piece of property, it would suit the government to purchase, and the People's National Party under that government would have done that many times.
Yeah.
Private persons understood that. My grandfather did that in Walton Park by Campbell's Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I know many persons, and if I ever dared right now go to lands that my family own and tell people to lift up off it, we must get a sore foot. My
Yeah, but
grandfather wouldn't allow that, even in death. So there are some of us who we learn humility and we understand what it is
Yes,
to make
sir.
sure that no matter what,
yeah,
and
but
words is win. I'm not affected by how people feel. I'm affected by how people live,
Isaac,
and
Yes.
that is what is significant.
Your time, Dino. Your time, Dino.
as a landowner myself, you see, I don't support squatting. And I have a very sympathetic heart to people. I had to go to the court and demolish 3 houses already.
Yes.
Because I mean, my heart pain me for doing it. But I mean, when I drove up, I bought a 45-acre property adjoining 2 main roads. And see persons captured and put in a house. And I pull over to say, oh, no, private property, what are you doing? And then tell me, no, into cloud and tell me, say, got man no own land, I got alone own land. No, what do I do with that person that do the ignorance? I go to the police and I serve a notice. I give them 1 year notice. Police say, why so much? I said, I'm a human being, they need, I give you time to find a place to live. And adjoining to that property, another person living there which has a letter saying can live for life. But you can't pass on from generation to generation.
John Collins, bring somebody else up. You finished, Dino? You have a question, extreme?
But
Yes,
I have
I
a
do.
question.
I do. Good morning again, Mr. Buchanan. Thanks for speaking with us. On
Yes.
the matter of human rights, is it lawful for the police to causes?
Me want to tell you a little secret, but don't tell nobody, and me hope nobody listening to us, right?
I'm listening. I'm
I
putting my ears
me
close to the
listen
phone.
now.
Because she
Yeah,
where you talk to when I
put your
hear.
ears close. Put your ears close to the phone. Because me say when me go down at Trelawney and me find each and every one of them detained, I bet you each of them are gonna get $12 million. And your mama and papa and sister and brother taxpayers' money are gonna have to pay. The
Oh my God.
police out of order. It is a breach of the right to liberty, freedom of movement, human dignity, the trauma, the stress, exemplary damages, consistent with
Wow.
Rooks and Bernard, false imprisonment. Let me tell you something, man. If you ever know the disgrace and shame that took
Thank you for
place
those
yesterday,
roses, Buchanan. Thank you for those roses.
I just want them call me, man. Just find me.
I
And you're
appreciate
not
your
gonna hear
response,
about it.
Mr. Buchanan, and that was
Who take out the any other question? Can I put the question right away?
Yeah, yes.
Caution. You have a question,
Um.
caution or oh?
One question
Oh,
at a time so everybody can get in a
One
yeah.
question.
question.
And
It's caution
so
or
Yeah.
we're
oh?
More.
going to revolve. We are going to revolve the back. So me are going to jump out so somebody else can get a chance
Thank
to
you.
come out.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go
More.
ahead,
Morning.
hope or caution.
Yeah,
Morning
yeah, morning,
MP.
morning,
Morning
everybody.
MP.
Hope
Mr.
first. Hope
Buchanan.
first. Hope first. Hope first.
Okay.
Go ahead, hope.
Morning MP and council and
Morning.
coming together. All right. So the question I want to ask you: those person, are any of those person under Section 85 of the Registration of Titles Act would have allowed them some sort of right to that property that they were squatting on?
Lord be
Um,
shame. Them have no rights. Them is some how to harder squatters, but they don't care. There's a process to which the government must deploy when
Jesus.
unfortunate situations like this would have festered for a decade. I don't want people to miss that, you know. This is
Okay.
design of a decade. Disenfranchised by a decade. There were
Yes.
persons when that judgment was given were 10. There were persons who were 10 when the judgment was given, and they're
Me
now
here?
20. They
Me
were
here?
detained. Some of their parents died in the 10
Me
years
here?
through
Me here?
COVID, through other disasters. They are not beneficiaries of the knowledge of the intricacies of the judgment of the court. The government of the day was in power for 3 terms and counting and could have done something. Do
Over
not
here.
lose sight of the issues. This is not about property rights. This is about process and procedure in preserving human dignity for Jamaican citizens who did a try a thing. They are not worthless people. It was concrete structures that were demolished. They're ambitious, trying people that could not afford land.
That's it. Caution, coming caution. Coming
Yes.
caution.
So, alright, morning everybody. I don't know, may I ask, was there a caveat on the land title? And if there was a caveat on the land title, could the owners still go through and try to remove people off the property even if a caveat was on the land title?
What I'm confused. There is a judgment from the court and all that was ventilated. The landowner did not behave like a bull buck and duppy conqueror. The man took 10 years to remove the people. We are not losing sight of the discussion. There is no issue between the private landowner and wanting to enjoy his property. This whole conversation must not move from process and procedure and whether or not in light of a judgment should the government intervene to ensure that persons who are disenfranchised, whether by hurricane, whether by fire, whether by natural disaster, whether by property rights ownership, to ensure that people have a place to live. Why do we have a government? And why are people saying people worthless? Another wall are we born with gold spoon in our mouth.
Thank you very much.
Another wall are we can buy land. And another wall are we can get some of the NHT money where government are dig out and yam out.
True, brother. True, brother.
Thank you very much.
True.
Bless up. Later.
Respect, my dear, respect. Burko, you have a question, Burko?
Yes, sir. Morning.
Morning, go ahead.
Morning. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, the thing that I'm saying, and I believe that they should approach it on a different aspect.
You have a question for Mr. Buchanan?
Yes, I need to talk to Mr. Buchanan myself, and he can reach me at 4.3939.
No, do you have a question? Do you have a question for him? No. You don't have to pay anything right now, so exploit it.
Hold on.
I like what Mr. Buchanan said.
If it's a personal question, send me my lion. Send copy screen and send my lion.
I didn't get that, sir. I didn't get that.
Say if you have a personal question for ask me, tap my screen and send my lion.
And don't make it Don't make it
Don't send it to the wrong account.
You have a question, CD?
Yeah. Good morning, Comrade Bob.
Yes, morning.
My take on the role of the government is real land. Would you say that the land that the government owns is on behalf of the people of Jamaica?
Always. The government is a servant. Okay. The prime minister and members of parliament, we are creatures of constitution, and the human being are superior to us. You see, me in Portland, me is the servant of the people. That's why them can cuss me and drape me up. And I don't lose sight of the fact that I serve them. I am not the boss of them. Okay. So all who think they're high and mighty and miss the mark must know thy place.
So the question I want to ask, hold
on. Even if the milk is thrown at you in Chilani, you'll wipe it off and cool.
The milk can throw the milk for me, but not the pepper spray. He's not dead, man. But go ahead, continue.
Anyway, come about. The reason I ask is because I hear a lot of people say that government land, and I'm saying that government is the trustee, hold the land in trust for the people of the country. Not saying that you'll give willingly everybody, but people who cannot afford it. Do we believe that is the government role to make some ways to give those people land?
No, yeah, man. The government have a duty to find that, and government have land all over, and they can make adjustments and amendments for us to do so.
So if the government own land near to Cooper's Pen, could the government develop those land and give these people?
Yes, but even before them develop it, tonight when like how them lick them down, them should have put them over there and make them pitch up tent and start mark out them house and get it. So the rest of we can say so the conversation can sound like this. That don't fear. Look how hard me work and me no own no land and the whole squat of them get land from government. This is unfair and unrighteous. Me want peace too. Those are the conversations we should be having. And then as a politician in opposition, me just say, Chano, it's a government that need to stay in a power, man. Them just give away the land. So what we are going to do? We're going to stay in opposition forever. But anyway, I don't know who's listening. Yeah, I reach a parliament, you know, so I have to go. Yeah, let's go. Last question.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we just not closing saying that.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You finish, you Blair. Go in, Colin.
Isat, before you leave, talk a little bit about Sanko Beach in Portland and what's going on there.
Right, so I will start by saying the Minister of Tourism say we're not having a beach access issue, and that is farthest from the truth because there was a protest in Sanko Bay as there were enforcers, the same enforcer that went and mashed up the rafters in Blue Lagoon, and those rafters have never been able to set sail again since that. That was before my time. A repeat of that was attempting to take place in Sanko Bay. But we are in discussions, and I won't say much because, again, the private owners, we are engaging them to see what that looks like, but more so to preserve the access to the beach and to see how best the community locally can interface between each other, because Jamaica is for all of us. Rich and poor have to live together, and the dignity has to be preserved. But when I was campaigning on my flyer, I said protect your rights, and them think me did a chat up my mouth, but me dead down they know. And although them have pepper spray, I broke up things. Just ask some of them. They thought the land belonged to them, and I showed them otherwise. So we will continue to do what we have to do. But there are people listening, and my name easy for call. But I'm at the steps of Gordon House, and I'm now transforming into a distinguished gentleman. So I will have to go. Let's say I am careless.
Yes.
All right.
Want to thank you so much for being here, and don't be a stranger again. We're gonna look forward to seeing you again. All the
right.
best.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.